Hello, welcome to phase 2 of the evergreen installation, and this is the installation of the actual evergreen server. We have just installed OpenSurf 2.1 in the previous screencast, and so now we are installing evergreen 2.2.0 on Ubuntu 12.04. Alright, so let's start. Exactly similar to the other screencast and documentation, I have the official README and a docu-wiki that I found incredibly useful. I have both of the links for those posted right here, and then written in green, especially green in brackets, are my notes that I took as I installed Evergreen and some of the pitfalls that I found and have addressed, etc. So, beginning one tells you all about, step one tells you all about the users you will need. Step two, it says to skip it, so we skip. And step three tells you to make sure that you have OpenSurf installed, which we did obviously in the entire last documentation. So, it also tells you that Ubuntu Precise comes with Postgres SQL 9, so we don't need to do anything in that regard since we're using Ubuntu Precise. So, moving on to, well, I guess we need the terminal, don't we? So we go grab the terminal here, make it bigger. And we begin by becoming the root with sudo su. And I'm just going to run an aptitude update. Make sure nothing critical happened between last night and this morning. Okay, it only took 24 seconds, so it looks like not much happened. Now we are going to install the tarball. Well, we're actually just going to get it. And again, I'm fetching the 2.2.0, so hopefully, well, either this is up to date or you already, have investigated and figured out what the latest version is by the time you are watching this. Alright, so now we just need to unpack it. Okay. Oops, I forgot I wasn't recording, so I already changed the directory. Just changed the directory to evergreen-ils-2.2.0, and you will see the following results. Alright, now we have to insert our makefile command. Including the name of your operating system, so Ubuntu Precise. So in the middle of this makefile, it will ask you if you would like to configure as much as possible automatically. Feel free to pick whatever you like. I'm definitely going to pick yes. And yes. Again, it asks me another question. I just assume that it knows what it's doing, so yes again. Okay, so finally it's done. My pot of coffee was started in the meanwhile, so we're good. Don't vex yourself too much about that message that says to run service Apache 2 restart. We'll deal with Apache later. So we want to, in step 4, exit to the root user and switch over to evergreen directory. Excellent. Do a little config. Grab that file set our prefix to OpenILS with this. Okay, and exactly the same as in OpenSurf. You want to see this scripting at the bottom with the questions and answers and locations, and that lets you know that you're on the right track. Throw in make. We'll scroll down over here while gibberish is running. Alright, moving on to step 5. We're going to try and do steps 1 through 6 on this first screencast. So it asks us to become the root again. So sudo su we are. And then my next direction there is to switch over to the evergreen ILS, but we're already in it. So we will just it won't hurt anything if you try to change directory to the same directory, so go ahead. We'll just move on to the next one though, and we'll put in 2.2.0 there. So make sure that you have the staff client version that you're going to be using plugged into that rel _2_2_0. So you might want to I guess, go and look at the staff client download and see what the latest version of that is, but they should match really. So okay, so it is done stamping the ID, I guess. So it asks us to change the directory. Directory changed. And then you finish out that step of 5, and then we will change the ownership of all of these files so that they belong to OpenSurf. Okay, and that concludes this part A of this screencast. I'm going to go ahead and stop it here. And when we come back, we'll start with step 7, configure the Apache web server.